I'm me, you're you, and this is Wiggly's Book Club, episode 010. Wiggly's Book Club is brought to you every other week, free for no money, as part of the GiantMediaBall.com network. Wiggly's Book Club is made possible by advertising the ST688. The show is recorded live from Sloppy Joe's Bar, located in Easton's West Ward. Without further ado, let's go to Wiggly down in Sloppy Joe's Bar for the 3DO Club News Classic. The 3DO Club News, issue number 2. Today I have a Diet Mountain Dew, some Southern Comfort, because, you got Mountain Dew. You want a hillbilly, you're yodeling, a little bit of Mountain Dew and a Southern Comfort, and now I gotta put some aromatic bitters in there. I always like that. It's dry. Wow! That's pretty good. A little bit more sody in there. Alright, today's reading is from the Book of Job. Steve Job, the 3DO Club News, issue number 2. Now, this is the first time I'll be reading a piece of mail, I think. This is from the 3DO Club, P.O. Box 24527, San Francisco, California, 94124-9806. And for some reason, I have 14605 and 15481 written on it. And my label is peeled off. I think it's probably in my bookcase. So this is mailed out bulk rate. So on the front you have a drawing with pencil of 3 dinosaur heads, faces, looking at a television, I guess, in the middle of a fern forest. That says 3DO Club News. A little drink here. Very good. Club membership. Oh my gosh. Look at this stuff. Holy mackerel. Everyone. 3DO ratings program. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's really inside a title until you get it home and begin playing. Have you ever been surprised by what you saw? Or perhaps you're, plumbers don't wear ties. All those, some blonde can't think of it. She was supposed to be like some type of private eye, but these games were mostly very little decision making, and they were brought to you by that one porn manufacturer, which I can't recall. It was mild. It was mild stuff. It was soft, I guess you would call it. Although you might not have been soft when you play. What you saw, perhaps your kids talked you into a video game which you wouldn't have bought if you had known what it contained. Like many consumers today, the 3DO company is concerned about making all the information available to you for your business decision, for your buying decisions. 3DO. Now, 3DO, I think publicly, was the first one to actually release these types of games accessibly, especially on the video game console shelves. Now, Atari had some dirty games. There were dirty games for everything. I mean, come on, let's go. As soon as you make something, you put dirty things on it. But 3DO definitely had the FMV and the stuff to make these titles happen more, because it was, and plus the expense of the system led to more mature gamers. 18-year-olds. Like many consumers today, the 3DO company is concerned about making all the information available to you for your buying decisions. I read that. These ratings let parents know at a glance which titles are age appropriate for their kids. 345. The icons will be appearing on the 3DO software boxes in the bottom left corner, next to the official 3DO licensed product symbol. And E rating means that the title is appropriate for everyone. A 12 rating recommends guidance for children 12 and under. A 17 rating suggests guidance for children 17 and under. And finally, an AO rating denotes a title for adults only. On the front of the, also if you see naked titties. On the front of the box, next to the 3DO licensed product symbol, you will find the basic ratings icon. It's funny, the E's in a circle. 12 and 17 are both in yield signs, diamonds, and then the AO is in a stop sign symbol. 3DO licensed product symbol, basics. On the back of the box, towards the bottom, you will find the icon with additional specific descriptors to let you know the title contains any of the following: strong language, violence, nudity, sexual situation, or drug use. Was I just watching, yeah, that's right. I think it was a game that we're going to review soon or sometime, but yeah, it just had people smoking on it. And it was funny because, you know, it opened up with the FBI warning to not do drugs, don't do drugs, except tobacco, I guess. These ratings let you know what's in each title and for whom it is intended. Look for titles with these new symbols to begin appearing on retail shelves this spring. It's a message from Trip Hawkins. Wow, right on the front there. I'm just worried I'm not going to get to any of the content if I read what Trip Hawkins said. I just want to Trip Hawkins Day. I don't even know what year this is. Inside information. Let me just go through. There's a big, gigantic Jurassic Park. As close to real life as you can get. Or want to. Jurassic Park Interactive. Let's see. Oh, there's some. Oh my God, I can't read that. Not even with a glass ashtray. Reality hits. Reality home hits. Let's see what came out. True Golf Classics. John Madden Football. Crash and Burn. The Incredible Machine. Crash and Burn is what the system was a pack in. Stellar 7. Remember that? Draxon's Revenge. Total Eclipse. Mad Dog McCree. One of Johnny Capcom's favorites. Why does Johnny Capcom keep coming out? Oh, because I'm doing like these video game, 2 video game programs in a row. Escape from Monster Manor, Sewer Shark. Oh, they released it for 3DO as well. It just stayed in the sewers like the turtles. $6.50. Plunger Gun. Battle Chess, which was incredibly fantastic. You want to see your chess pieces fight? No problem. You want to wait 3 minutes for each piece to just load to fight? Yeah, there you got a problem. The Horde. Lemmings. Shelley Duvall's It's a Bird Life. That's my joke. I played Crash and Burn and Shelley Duvall's It's a Bird Life for 8 months until a new 3DO game came out. Putt Putt joins the parade. Putt Putt Fun Pack. Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise. Fatty Bear. Now these are all, of course, adult titles, I guess. Fatty Bear's Fun Pack. Ooh, yuck. Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. I always wanted that one. I was like, I don't care. He's going to the fucking moon, you know? Night Trap. There you go. Dragon's Lair. There you go. Sid Meier's CPU Bach. Oh, that was terrible. I really wanted that. It's just Bach. CPU Bach composes and plays its own original music in the style of Johann Sebastian Bach. Not really. It's clunky. The Software Toolworks presents Oceans Below. San Diego Zoo presents, these are information games. San Diego Zoo presents The Animals. Quite different than Shelley Duvall's It's a Bird Life, which only happens with birds. Software Toolworks presents 20th Century Video Almanac. That was always one of my favorite games. Almanac. Or the Encyclopedia, Compton's Encyclopedia. Home. Woody Woodpecker cartoon. Oh, I see. It's reality, then hits, then home. Home. Woody Woodpecker cartoon, volume 1, 2, 3. And the funny thing about the Woody Woodpecker is, although the 3DO did have a adapter slot for the VCD. Yeah, the VCD, which was one step down from the from DVD. You had VCD, you had shit compression. It was MPEG-1, I believe. So even though they had the adapter for that, some of these early cartoons, like Woody Woodpecker cartoons, just used hardware. So they were incredibly blocky. Oh no, I lost a page. Twisted, the game show, which is fantastic. The Life Stage. Oh yeah, I remember that. You designed your own stupid looking house. Okay, so now they're going into some different games here. Hints and tips for the different games. I like to call it hints and tits. What makes a 3DO a 3DO? Oh, look under the hood. Now that seems interesting. Yeah. Take your video. Now this is inside information. It's a 2-page spread. It has your thumbs on both sides of it. It looks like a newspaper burp, by the way. 958. And it's supposed to be, it's probably just a big ad. The hot new 3DO video CD adapter for $250. This amazing device plugs into the AV expansion port on the right side of your Panasonic system and allows the display of linear playing discs having VHS quality video. 3DO video CD adapter works by adding a second video technology to the built-in video capability as 3DO interactive multiplayer system. Current Panasonic interactive multiplayer systems use a software-based video decompression. This is just what I was talking about. Decompression algorithm called Cinepack. Panasonic 3DO video CD adapter adds a much faster, superior quality hardware-based video decompression based on the international MPEG-1 standard. The difference is remarkable. 3DO interactive sampler CD. And then the back, which is just where you put the postage. I really want to read what Trip has to say, but why not? Why don't you listen to the episode of We Talk Games where we have Trip Hawkins on? Oh, let me just read a little bit. I wish I could find out what the hell year this is. Jesus. Nothing anywhere. That's why they went under. No one knew what year the system was from. Oh my gosh, here's a thing. 300. Oh my gosh. 1994? I'm going to say 1994. Copyright 1994 by Bill Cosby. Oh, 3DO company. See, I got astigmatism and I'm dyslexic and I'm blind and I can't read. That's my problem. I'm definitely not going to read Jurassic Park. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's only been a little more than a year since the first public announcement of the 3DO, and only 6 months since the first 3DO players went on sale. In a short time, we have signed more than 600 companies. Whew. There weren't even 600 games. Companies to software license agreements, and more than 200 of these companies have already started developing projects for the 3DO system. We're very pleased that the first couple dozen CD titles have come to market, and they keep getting better. How am I doing? Am I still recording? Good, 12:34. And they keep getting better. People have called Total Eclipse the best video game ever made. Wow. With the most realistic flying sensation, Twisted, the game show, is the first video game ever to look, feel, and sound like a TV show. It is such a great game. I mean, of course, now the graphics are kind of ploopy blocky, and the pre-rendered steps that you go up even look crappy, but the game is so fun that I think it can overcome that. It was sort of like a graphically improved version, distant cousin of You Don't Know Jack. Distant cousin, I say. Don't take offense either way. But I think it was a distant cousin with trying to do a graphic overhaul. Now, the reason that You Don't Know Jack still works is because it's basically text on a screen and your announcer. Whoops, I keep bumping my mic. Okay. Here comes his baby. John Madden. Football for the 3DO system is the most realistic sports simulation ever, and the first to feature NFL film clips and video of an Emmy Award-winning announcer and the Horde features Hollywood star Kirk Cameron and his banana. Kirk Cameron is in The Horde. I got to go back and play it now. In the finest digital video interactive movie ever made. And those are just a sampling of the things that come. Wow. And the hardware's in front, definitely true for what it did. And then he talks about his MPEG full motion video cartridge. I don't know what he talks about in the middle. I skipped the middle. And then it says down here, sincerely, Trip Hawkins, president and CEO of 3DO Company. P.S. We want to know what's on your mind. Write to us at the 3DO Club, 600 Galveston Drive, Redwood City, California, 94063, or send email to club@3do.com and tell us how we're doing. Thanks! And God bless. I added that part at the end. What makes a 3DO 3DO? 1503. Okay, it's time for the rope escape. Today I'm going to need the assistance of a curtain. Hopefully this won't take too long because this is a big one. Okay, so now I have about 16 foot of rope. Normally I just tie my hands and feet, and I'm going to do this as quick as I can. I have to sort of spin around to get everything tied up, but I'm going to actually be tying all this around my hands and feet. Now how am I going to get the curtain up? I don't know. So I'm putting it here pretty tight. Both of my legs, my waist, my hands. Now I did have to keep my hands in front of my body because I'm doing this by myself. Okay, so on 3 I'm going to push the drape up over my head, and then the drape will drop down. Ready? 1, and I'm gonna move up the thing a little bit more. My eyes went to 1, 2, and then 3. I let it go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it fell on my head. And ha-ha! Where'd the ropes go? Have that. How about that? Have a little bit of this Mountain Dew and the Southern Comfort and the aromatic bitters. Really got to get ice. It's good. What makes a 3DO a 3DO? A look under the hood. Oh my God, I can't read this. It's all, what do you call that when you make things? It's italics. Oh, I gotta get my magnifying glass. That's how I do this one. We're live if you didn't know, so that's why I sort of have to just keep. You can't pause. You can't pause life rather. Ugh. All right, here we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay, let's see here. I have to use one eye. I look like Sherlock Holmes. What exactly is a 3DO system? Burp. By the way, what makes it fly? What do all the various 3DO systems have in common? And how does 3DO technology stack up against other systems like the Atari Jaguar and Sega CD? Yeah, Tripp didn't sweat the Turbo CD. He made that very clear of the Turbo Duo. It's hot in here. He's mentioning different 3DOs. Now, I believe they probably had 2 different style systems. One is a top loading and the other one had a drawer. And many people's drawers are pretty sticky now, so you got to really grease them up. To get answers to these questions, you could tear up your warranty, grab a screwdriver, crack the top off the 3DO system, and try to break anything as you poke around the machine's innards. Isn't that interesting? That's actually an option they give you, which of course they're telling you shouldn't do this, but it's nice of them to, offer the steps in order to break your system. It's good. $600 down the toilet. Or you could come along with us and on a guided tour of your 3DO system. 1908, Jesus. It's safe, it's free. You don't need a screwdriver. In fact, you don't have to leave your chair. Just read on. The tour's just leaving. No gum chewing or smoking, please, and watch your style. They didn't say anything about drinking, which is good because I'm fucking jacked up. No gum chewing or smoking, please, and watch your step around the printed circuits. We're about to I might fall asleep. We're about to show you what's inside your 3DO interactive multiplayer system and tell you why it's there. Graphics processing, where worlds are made. Now, it has sort of like this is a two-color print. Green and black with grays as well. So it's not I don't think it's even registration. It's hard to tell. These are well, I guess it would be. So you have grays and you have this green. And you even have different shades of green, different intensities, because the green that's on here, circling graphic processing where worlds are made, is sort of like a highlighter. And it's pointing at this top-down 3DO system. So you don't even see a graphic processor. The lid's closed. What are you talking about? Where worlds are made. Creating TV quality graphics takes an enormous amount of processing power, but 3DO's graphics cluster is optimized to handle. Let's see if I can read this without the magnifying glass. It's difficult to read aloud. Man, it's so hard. This mic is, I don't know what's going on here. Graphics cluster is optimized to handle the big job effortlessly. Let's check it out. Okay. Hey, ladies, check this out. The extra power comes in play in the very first steps as the raw data is read off the CD and loaded into memory. There are two 32-bit processors called cell engines or EEL engines. Let's see. Cell engines, I'm going to say that decompress the data, interpret it, and create the, compacted bitmap image of the result. The cell engine also cell shading. The cell engine also performs the scaling, rotation, transparency, translucency, and lighting effects. Tasks that are done under the hood by the central processing unit in most other computers. So it's doing this in the cell instead of the CPU, because I read that kind of weird. A math coprocessor chip works alongside the cell engine, doing the matrix transformations for all 3D graphic effects. When the compacted bitmap image is finished, it goes to the frame buffer, where it waits to be displayed. The 3DO system uses 1 megabyte of video RAM, VRAM, special dual-ported RAM that's optimized to move video information quickly and efficiently. Isn't it funny? Because now we have 2 gigabyte VRAMs and whatnot. Software programmers can partition the VRAM into multiple buffers, each storing a frame of animation. As a result, the rest of the hardware never has to wait for data. There are always several frames ready for screen display the moment they're needed. Now we have another green arrow with a circle, 2312. We get 23 to direct memory access, and now it's pointing to the power button. I mean, they say that you don't have to take a screwdriver, but it's just the top of the real 3DO system. You can't see in it at all. They're pointing at the power button. The first one was pointing at the CD tray, and the next one will be pointing at the other side of the CD tray. Direct memory access. Powerful video processors will be of little use if they had to spend all day waiting for the data to be delivered to them by a slow memory architecture. Just like about everything else inside the 3DO system, the memory architecture breaks new ground. The memory system is controlled by the direct memory access DMA controllers, direct memory access controllers. As we move through this area, please watch your head with 4 main chips, 3 coprocessors, 3 input ports, 3 megabytes of memory, and the extra circuit needed for assorted housekeeping tasks. There's a lot of high-speed information zapping around in there, and we'd hate for you to get caught in the circuits. The DMA controller is the traffic control center tower, one chip dedicated to enhancing data flow between all the various parts of the machine. Thanks to the DMA controller, the other chips get what they need when they need it. The result is that each of the 3DO system's components work at perfect efficiency. Let me see if I can see that date now. I have my magnifying glass. Holy mackerel. 3DO company. Not there. This one's got a lot of dead air, this episode. Yeah, 94. Okay, so that took a long time to tell you the same thing I knew. Okay. Peak efficiency. The next sound you hear will be awesome. Now, this is once again the awesome sound of the left side of the CD tray. Of course, terrific visuals don't really hit home unless you've got great sound to go with it. I'm having a hard time reading this with the magnifying glass. This print is not black. It's light and very, very thin typeface. Great sound to go with them. 3DO's Answer is a custom digital sound processor, DSP 26. A 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz. That is CD quality. Stereo sound, indeed it is. Stereo sound chip. Our DSP can mix many sources of audio data at once and then alter them on the fly with special effects like echo, reverb, and pitch change. Those special effects alone would put the 3DO sound technology at the top of the crap. But the DSP also gives developers the power to create audio effects by changing the direction the sound comes from. This means that you can hook your 3DO system into a high-end home or theater audio system for realistic all-around fun. Risk Central. Now it's the bottom of the 3DO, and they're pointing. All these arrows are just pointing to the back of the system. You can't see down. This isn't on an angle. This is just the bottom of the system. You could see little notches, but you can't really see anything. The Risk Central. Now, how can that be the risk? It's pointing at the serial number, 2716. The CPU is only one of the many processors. It is the chip. It is the chip that handles the logic governing gameplay. Your 3DO system is built around the ARM60 32-bit RISC, reduced instruction set computing chip, a fast, nimble chip that's just now coming into general use. It also powers Apple's Newton. Wow. That is, first of all, it's awesome to me. Second of all, it's a horrible thing to say that your game system has a RISC processor like the Newton, the black and white, but it did do handwriting recognition in 2805. RISC is the next generation beyond old-style processors like the 16-bit, 68000 chip used in the Sega Genesis, Philips CDI, and the Atari Jaguar. Oh, I didn't know that those were based on the 68s. As well as the very first Macintosh over a decade ago. Twice the speed of fun. Now it's pointing to like the S-video input. This store is getting pretty dark, pretty thick with firsts and onlys, but hey, you wanted a cutting-edge technology and we deliver. That big silver box up ahead contains another great leap forward, the double-speed CD drive. Oh, it was a 2x drive. Up until now, computer CD drives have been known for their capacity. That is, gorgeous graphics and hyper-realistic sound, and for seek times that can be measured in geologic eras. If you wanted speed, a hard disk or cartridge were the only ways to go. The 3DO System's double-speed drive, coupled with our primary computing compression technology, changes all that. Here's an example. An ordinary system with a single-speed CD drive might take up to 900 kilobytes of disk to store a full-color 640 by 480 image. Getting that image from disk to screen can easily take several seconds, an eternity, when you're engrossed in a hot game. On the 3DO system, the same image can be compressed and stored in just 150K. 150 instead of 900. That's pretty good. On the K scale, now that wouldn't mean jack shit, but back then, yes. 150K and will show up on screen in about half a second. The bottom line, you get more picture on a disc and more time spent having fun instead of waiting around for the next hashtag $% asterisk scene to load. Spend more time having fun instead of waiting around for the next fucking scene to load. That's great. Shit. 3044. Well, I really want to read the operating system. We'll leave the thinking outside the box for you at home, because I don't think outside the box, and I hate thinking outside the box. Another thing is, very few things are rarely fair enough. It isn't what it isn't as well as it is what it is, so it might not be it is what it is, and some other things that people say. The operating system. If the chip's wires and ports are the stage on which, and this is pointing at the power input, I think. Oh, they cut the power cord off of this. I just realized that. If the chip, because the power plug was hard into the real 3DO drive load, drive bay opener, auto booze. Kids don't drink. If the chip wires and ports are the stage on which the system magic takes place, the operating system is the theater director, the software that makes everything else run. Though it's virtually transparent to you, the OS is critical to programmers and software designers because it gives them a firm foundation on which to build new 3DO titles. The OS includes basic tools like loading routines, multitasking features, interface standards, and easy access to the system's under the hood hardware features. Since every 3DO title and machine conforms to this same OS, and the OS will stay the same even though the technology continues to evolve, every 3DO title you buy now will work on any 3DO machine well into the future. Not very far into the future, actually. This may seem like an obvious way to do things, but it's actually the exception to not the norm. Sega, for instance, has developed new cartridge technology and new operating systems for each new machine they've introduced. And curiously, the Atari Jaguar doesn't have an operating system at all. This puts huge demand on the programmers. Every development team has to start from scratch and write its own OS before they can even begin to design a Jaguar game. In the OS, like everywhere else, we're thinking ahead. 33. I'm going to finish it out. Thinking outside the box. This one's pointing at nothing, just the back of the system. Right in the middle. Some of the most important features of the 3DO system aren't inside. They're the ports on the outside edges. Through these 3 ports, your system communicates with the outside world, and it's the world that's growing bigger every day. If you don't remember, the original 3DO only had one controller port, and then you daisy chain your controllers. There would be a little cover on your controller, like the first one plugged in, you would remove that little cover, and you could daisy chain. I think you could do 6. I could be wrong. Take the control port. You might go right in. Take the control port. For example, right now it's probably hooked up to the control pad that came with your 3DO player. But in the months ahead, you'll see a wave of add-on input devices that can also plug into here. Mice, joysticks, data gloves, VR goggles, keyboards, and so on. Just bring them home and plug them on in. No device drivers to hassle with, no switches to reset, no problem. You can even daisy chain lots of devices together. The number varies depending on the type of device, and your player won't miss a beat. There's also an expansion port located in the back side of the box. This is where you'll plug in more sophisticated peripherals, modems, printers, expanded memory, MIDI devices, and so on as they become available or not available. The audio video port is that big docking port on the side of the unit. It's designed to take hardware cartridges that will expand your system's capabilities. In the years ahead, you'll be able to keep up with the changing technology by buying upgraded cartridges instead of the whole new player. That would have been fantastic, That would have been really super. It really tried to build like a computer system, that you could actually upgrade. Instead of a whole new player. The first cartridge due out in a few months or so is the MPEG-1 cartridge that will enable your 3DO to play full motion video FMV movie CDs. Well, that's it. We're at the end of our tour, and it's time to let you back to your regularly scheduled reality. We're delighted that you could join us, and even more delighted that you kept up with the group. The last time we did this, we were still pulling stragglers out of the video processors a week later. If you still, I don't understand that. If you still, I'm drunk. If you still don't drink, kids. If you still have questions, call. Don't do teeth, comb your drugs. If you still have questions, call or write. And send your friends. 3DO, the 3DO logos, and interactive. This I need to magnify. I mean the Superman. Multiplayer are trademarks of the 3DO company. All other brands or product names are trademarks of or registered trademarks of their respective holders. Over the shoulder boulder holder. Back to me in the studio. We hope that you enjoyed tonight's reading of the 3DO Club News, issue number 2. To own your own copy of the 3DO Club News, issue number 2, write to the 3DO Club, P.O. Box 24527, San Francisco, California, 94124-9806. And good luck. Management would also like to apologize. Tonight's super secret surprise celebrity guest, a block of wood, could not be on the program. I had to stick it under the dishwasher in the kitchen to help stop the racket. For Wiggly and the entire staff of Wiggly's Book Club, I'm Wiggly. I had to wait for that to stop. And remember, kids, RIP. Reading is fundamental.